Welcome to Navigating Life After 40, the podcast that's all about helping women navigate this exciting and sometimes challenging phase of life. I'm your host, Ronnie J, and I'll be here sharing some of my own personal experiences, chatting with experts and a few friends, and also providing some practical advice and support to help you live your best life after 40. Let's get started. Hey, fashion enthusiasts, get ready to dive into an exciting exploration where age is just a number and style is boundless. Welcome to Navigating Life After 40. I'm your host, Ronnie J. And today we're going to be chatting with guest Jennifer Nataf, who is a personal stylist based in Israel. Jennifer has over 4 to 5 years of experience helping smart, ambitious women discover and elevate their style, both in person and virtually. She's also the author of a style guide available on Etsy and is currently working on launching a style membership. Jennifer pursued her dream of becoming a personal stylist after overcoming a major career crisis and has since dedicated herself to empowering women through fashion. Now let's dive into the episode. Welcome, Jennifer, to the podcast. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. So well.
It's nice. I can't wait for us to have this conversation about midlife fashion. I feel like it is something that a lot of women have been having a little bit of struggle with. As we enter midlife, our bodies change. And then some people are also still trying to find their style, or it's changing. It's like, okay, what is my style like now? So we'll spend some time talking about that, learning a little bit more about you and sharing those things with the listeners. And we will go from there. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Nice. All right. To kick things off, this is my favorite part. I love icebreakers. So everyone who knows me outside of the show knows I love icebreakers. They are so much fun. So my icebreaker question for you is, if you could raid the closet of any fashion icon, past or present, we're talking about fashion today, just for a day, whose wardrobe would you choose and why?
Wow. That's tough. I don't think that it would be. I think if you gave me access to run free in certain brands stores, that would be better. Be like Vivienne Westwood, Dion Lee, who's a designer from Australia and has done some crazy stuff, but also some very corsety stuff. He made this famous sort of corset tank. So I love his stuff. And, there are some more, but let's leave it at that. This is stuff that I can't necessarily afford, but would love to wear.
Yes, because we see the expensive brands, right? They create some stuff that's cute, but it's some stuff you're like really asking yourself the question, like, okay, why was that created? What? I know I do that sometimes. I'm like, what is someone gonna wear that to, or why was that created?
Why will they wear it? When will they wear it? 100%.
Yeah. Fashion has definitely changed. We of course know it's art, but it's definitely changed a lot. I would say if I could raid someone's closet for a day, it would probably be, I'm going to say if I could raid, but I would probably go in and change some things out. It would probably be Kris Jenner. I don't know why that name comes top of mind. Kim Kardashian's mom, Kris Jenner. I think she wears a lot of black. I love black. By the way, I have a lot of black too. But I would love to see her in like pops of color. Like if I could raid her closet, like I would steal some things that she has because she does have some pretty pieces. But I would also be like, can I add some stuff here? Like just some pops of color. I would love to see her in from time to time. So, yeah.
You're telling me that you want to style Kris Jenner. Go for it.
Yeah. I would love to style her for a day. Just raid her closet, take some pieces, and also replace them with some other ones. All right, so let's jump into our conversation today. And we're going to start a little bit about your journey. with fashion. And can you share with our listeners, your journey into this area of fashion? What was your inspiration behind becoming um, this fashion expert, I would say, that you change women's lives? So, what is your journey?
So I have always loved clothes from the time that I was a little girl. And part of my style journey has had to do with aha moments that I went through. And part of it has to do with the fact that I have fluctuated in weight. And part of it has to do with the fact that I moved countries from Canada to Israel when I was 15. And so all of my experiences together have made it so that I have my style has developed. Also, I'm 47. So as you age, necessarily,
Hmm.
you're no longer the person you were. You no longer
Yeah,
want to wear the things you wanted to wear. And so it has all culminated in me wanting to share my love of fashion and style with women who are just lost and who
hmm,
don't know how to dress, who don't know what their style is, who feel frumpy, who feel like they don't know how to put together an outfit, or who don't want to look like they're trying too hard. And so this is my opportunity. It's my great joy to help my clients look good in their clothes, feel good in their clothes, find a style that really resonates with them.
nice. And you actually touched on a very important point, which leads me to this next piece that I want to touch on. That is, as we age, as we're going through this process, our bodies change. I know for me, I have this, love for fashion as well. But I notice like when the weight gain comes, I'm just like, oh, I love it. And I'm just like, I wish I could get in this piece or that piece. Um, and then I have to work hard to try to get the weight off so I can get in what I really want to wear. But we know that changes come with our shape, right? And for some women, especially as we are in this phase of life, it's more difficult to even get that weight off. It's difficult for us to go back sometimes to what most women we like, ooh, my high school weight, which for a lot of us was was probably the greatest time. But how do you approach helping women embrace these changes while maintaining a sense of style and confidence?
So one of the things is that I think that every woman deserves to look and feel beautiful at whatever weight she's at. So
Mhm.
if she's looking, even if she's working to lose the weight. So some women get to the point where they say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm I want to enjoy my life and I don't want to work really hard to regain that shape because it's possible, but it might require more work than I'm willing to put in. I accept it. So then those women can be easier to dress than the women who say, I want to lose the weight, but I've been working towards losing it. I've been working to lose it 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. And then these women are stuck. These women, I tell, look, if you do want to lose the weight, go for it. You're going to do it slowly. And as you do it, because nobody can do it fast. If you do it fast, you regain it immediately.
Yeah.
And so you're going to do it slowly. Meanwhile, in all this time, don't you want to look good and feel good? And so it's a matter of finding your style and the clothing that flatters you. So one of the things too that I say is that it's all a matter of proportion.
Yeah.
So you might be a little bit bigger all over. And then great, you're proportionate. Maybe you're a little bit bigger in certain areas, but with clothes, I think that we're really lucky that we don't have to walk around naked because there's so much that you can do with clothes. There's so
Yeah.
much that you can sort of camouflage or give the illusion of something. And
Hmm.
one of my key tips towards dressing your body in a way that is flattering is to emphasize your waist. And so there's so many women who are hiding in tents. They're hiding in clothes that are too big for them. Sometimes the opposite happens, and women who have gotten bigger than they were before, then they wear clothes that are too tight because there's something that goes on in their brain. And I know this personally because I've experienced
Hmm.
personally where you're bigger. And you're like, but I don't want to look bigger. So I'm going to wear something
Yeah,
tight so I don't look bigger. So I really think that there's so much to it. There's so much to dressing in a way that flatters your body, that resonates with you. And I think that the best tip that I could give somebody is essentially how I work with my clients, which is think about the image you want to project. Think about how you want to appear to people. Come up with 3 to 5 keywords of what you want people to think when they look at you. That can be your guiding line of how you start to work on your style.
I love
That's,
that.
that's the starting point. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. As you were speaking, it made me think about embracing where you are right now. I think a lot of women, that's hard for us. As you mentioned, we gain the weight, but then we wear something tighter to make ourselves look smaller. And
Yes.
it's actually not always flattering for our figure, but it just that stuck with me. Just embrace where you are right now. And if you do decide, I'm going to lose the weight, and you start making those changes towards meeting that goal of weight loss for yourself, you can still change you kind of got in my head a little bit, but you can still change your wardrobe, or even take it to a tailor, just depending on if it's something that can be taken in or how much weight you've lost, really. So I think that that's something that a lot of us do struggle, is embracing where we are right now, and learning to accept that person. Another thing you mentioned was, how do you want to show up? Like identifying those 3 words.
Yes.
That really stands out to me, because how do you want to be perceived when you walk into a room and you're dressed? How do you want people to look at you? What do you want them to say? And I remember chatting with you prior to this episode, and you shared those tips with me. And that's something that I was like, you know what? I typically do that, especially depending on um, my outfit. But after speaking with you, I said, you know what? Let me make sure that this is how I show up every day,
Wow.
every day outside of, my workouts. I still wear my little cute workout clothes when I'm, in the gym and things like that. But if I'm going to run errands, or if I'm going to an event somewhere, how do I want to show up? And those words help you, for me, they help my confidence in a different way,
Oh
because it's
yeah.
almost like if I say I want to show up and I want to appear elegant or classy, those things, they stick in my mind, and I notice how my confidence shifts
Mm-hmm.
to be that way.
I love that you're saying that. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So it works. It definitely works. And I thought about that, and I said, you know what? I should take those words and put them on, like print them out and put them in my closet. So as I'm choosing my outfits, I can say, remember, these are the ways that I want to show up. These words are the things that resonate with me. And over
absolutely.
time, they can also change too. If you go on that journey again of weight loss, for example, those
Mhm.
words can change as you lose weight. I know they have for myself. As I lost more weight, I noticed the words changed.
Yeah, and what you said is just what you said about being in the moment and
Mhm.
feeling good in the moment. It's not about, I'm going to lose this weight and then I will take care of
Yeah.
myself. It's really that was just 100% exactly my message. And I just loved how you put it.
Yeah, embrace where you are right now.
Where you are
I
right now.
love that message too. It just, when you were speaking, that just stood out to me. Yeah, that stood out to me a lot. And it's like, I want to dive in, embrace where you are now. But, for the sake of time, we can always come back to it. I can talk about fashion with you all day because I love it. I actually love it. What
See?
what are some common misconceptions that just about fashion and midlife when it comes to women? I know a lot of times, like if we go back, for example, to, I'll say the 90s, when I think my mom was in her 40s in the 90s. I can't remember. But in the 90s, we saw how our parents dressed, and the style was different than it is now. We're seeing women who are in midlife, their style is it's a lot different than it was in the 80s, from the 80s and the 90s. But what are some common misconceptions that people have about what fashion should look like at this stage of life?
One of the misconceptions that people have in general, but I think especially at this stage, is that I don't have the body that I once had, so I can't look good. And
Mhm.
I'm limited by what I can wear. I mean, to a degree, you might be a little bit more limited, but you're not that limited. And people also think that they might need to invest a whole lot of money, and that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Yes, typically high quality things do tend to cost more, but they will last you longer. So in the
Mhm.
long run, it evens out, or you might even be gaining by investing in certain items.
Yeah.
But really, I've just heard, and it breaks my heart. I've heard so often that women have said that I can't look. I've got a little bit of extra weight. I can't look good in clothes. Clothes are not made for me. And
Yeah.
it is. I will grant you that it is harder for plus size women to find clothes. Not so much in the United States as I have experienced there, but elsewhere in the world. In Israel, it's
Mhm.
harder for plus size women to find clothes that are cute and that also look good. I'm in touch with a stylist in Germany. She said she's a plus size influencer, and she said it's the same thing in Germany. So it can be harder, but it's never impossible. One of the things that a passion project of mine is photographing street style. So if I am walking somewhere, and I do this when I've traveled around Europe, Italy,
Mhm.
Spain, France. I did this when I was in Texas. I do this in Israel.
Nice.
I will stop people on the street who I think have great style and photograph them. So I have photographed people. I've photographed people who are much older. I have photographed all shapes and sizes, and people wearing stuff from Shein, and people wearing all designer clothes.
Mhm.
So what I feel like this proves to the world, to anybody who sees this, who sees these photos, it proves that you really can have great style no matter how old you are, no matter what your body shape is, and no matter what your budget is. So
Nice.
but I'm gonna say it takes effort. It does. It takes
Yeah.
effort. It takes thought. It takes an investment of time of looking for those right items. So if you want it, it's possible. You can do it. You can achieve it. It's going to take a bit of effort.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's gonna take some effort, especially to find your personal style, like what you want to look like, and how, as you stated earlier, how do you want your style basically to represent you when you are out in the world. I do have a follow-up question. You mentioned the challenges with plus size women being able to find proper clothing in certain countries
Yeah.
outside of the US. Because I know over here in the US, it used to be really hard. And so more designers really started to embrace the plus size models and started making clothes that really fit. And we really started to get away from this is what a model should look like in terms
Yeah.
of, being maybe a size 0 or a size 2. And, it's still a lot of work to do, but I've seen the shifts take place, and I've
Oh,
seen more, like I said, fashion designers embrace plus size women. I'm curious to know, for those, what do you all do in the countries where there's this struggle to find those items for plus size women? What are how do you handle that? How do you
well,
navigate that challenge?
one of the things is that people order from abroad. They order
Okay.
from maybe American companies, or yeah, they order from abroad from sites that sell plus size clothes. Or they go into the shops here and they look around and it's a little bit more effort. Maybe it's a lot more effort. Zara does sell 2 extra large, but you can't necessarily find it in the stores. So you might have to order from that site. There are stores here. We do have some stores here, and I know it's the same for in Germany. The clothes tend not to be all that attractive. They tend to be like tense, or
Yeah.
stuff that's like more mature. The clothes tend to look more mature, but like you're thinking like granny rhinestones on,
Hmm.
not cool granny rhinestone.
Yeah. Rhinestones. Yeah. And I think that's, you know, it makes me think about how there's this expectation for women to look that are 40 and older to wear
Mhm.
those type of jeans. And then also on top of that, if you are older, it's almost like you're dealing with um to me, almost double the amount of stereotypes, if that makes sense. Because if
Right.
you're a woman who is, in midlife, there's this expectation like, oh, you should look a certain way or you should dress a certain way. And then if you are plus size, then there are no clothes for
So you
you,
know
or
what?
they make these clothes look
Yeah.
like you said, a tent on someone.
Yeah. You know what? So back to what you said earlier, about how women used to dress, older women, more
Mm-hmm.
mature women used to dress 40 years ago or in the 90s. It makes me think of this comparison that I've seen going around social media of the ages of the Golden Girls compared to celebrities today, that same
Yeah.
age. See how like the Golden Girls were dressed like in this
Yeah.
mature styles, and you see these other women nowadays, and they're dressed, famous celebrities that are the same age as the Golden Girls were, only they're dressed like beautifully and very in a modern way. And
Mm-hmm.
so I really do love that we are at a place in history or in society where we don't have that expectation of you get older, you cut your hair short. You get older, you wear the clothes that are for more mature women. You can get away with a lot more than you could have back then. And so I think that looking at celebrities and how the more mature celebrities dress today, I think it's really inspiring. I don't love celebrity culture and idol worship, but the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they're setting pretty high standards, like in a positive way, they're setting high standards in a positive way, for how we can dress as
Yeah.
older women, as women over 40. I really
Yeah.
love it. And I think that we can draw inspiration from that. And that's something else when we're talking about finding your style or being inspired. Don't just settle for what you like. Don't just settle. You will not know what is out there until you start to look around.
Mm-hmm.
You could just go to your nearest store and buy whatever fits you, or you could know what it is that you're looking for because you have done your research. You have gone on
Yeah.
Pinterest. You have looked up styles you like. You're following influencers or celebrities. You're thinking to yourself, what style do I really like? And that's one of the
Yeah.
questions that I ask I'm about to work with somebody. Do you have a style icon? Whose style do you really like? But you asked me before, whose closet
Yeah.
would I love to run wild in? And so if we put thought into it, and we take some time to do a bit of research, to gather inspiration, to keep our eyes open when we're walking down the street. Look at what you see. Look at what people are wearing when you're walking in the mall. Look in the dressings in the store windows. You're on social media. Find inspiration. There's so much inspiration out there. It is at the tip of our fingertips. It's just
Mhm.
in our phone. It's there. It's there for the taking. We just need to put in that little bit of effort, and that will
Yeah.
start to get us thinking. It'll start to get us thinking, what do I have in my wardrobe that I can also style in the same way that she styled it? Or what more do I need? I really love that she was wearing a blazer, this celebrity
Mhm.
who's like 70 and looks amazing. I loved her blazer.
Yeah.
Where can I get it? Oh, it's Veronica Beard. It's really expensive. I'll find something else that looks really similar. But,
Yeah.
there's we are really at a place in history where we have so much opportunity afforded to us that they did not have in Golden Girls days when they needed to look like Golden
I agree, and I love, love, love the example of the Golden Girls because
Girls.
that's exactly what I was thinking, like, they dressed up, and that was what fashion was like in the
Mhm.
'80s when they were on television, and, my mom used to dress like that, but that was it. So, and some other good points that you mentioned were, find that celebrity or someone whose style you can basically mimic a little bit. What
Mhm.
I've been doing this for years on social media. I do it on Instagram and I do it on Pinterest, and I just have folders that says fashion. And so
Love it.
anything that I like, I save and I make sure I put it in that folder so I can come
Mhm.
back to it later. And sometimes I say, you know what? I have something similar in my closet, or
Mhm.
where can I find this shirt? Or I'll go on if I something I really want, I'll kind of go on this journey to look for it or look for something similar. I'll even if it's something that's really expensive, I'll watch it to see if it'll go on
Yes.
sale. But now if the
Yes.
sizes start to run out really fast, I'm like, let me go ahead and hop on this because I may not get another chance. But I will watch it to see if it will go on sale. And so I know how I want to show up and I know what my style is. But I also still pull from other places so that I can say, you know what? That's me. I would wear that.
Right.
And I save it. And then I go in my closet sometimes. I'm like, okay, you got this, something similar. You can put this together. So I love that you mentioned that because you're right. We have a lot more at our fingertips. And I
We
think
do.
that we don't always take advantage of it because we might feel like it may take a lot of time, which is going to take some effort, but it's not saying you have to be on social media or these other apps for hours looking for something. You may say, you know what, I want to take a few minutes to just kind of go through the search and put in fashion on Instagram and see what comes up.
Yes.
And in there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, you know what? With reference to what you just said, I want to share a few little findings. Um,
Okay.
One thing is, you might already know this, and your listeners might already know this. Karma is fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.com is something that you can is a plugin, I believe, that you download. And then if you find something that you really, really love, when you're surfing and you're looking at Nordstrom or whatever store you're at, you can save to Karma, and then Karma will let you know when that goes on sale. So that will
Nice.
email you. So you choose, yeah, that is an incredible little trick that I have bought
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, I've bought stuff at like 40% off. Stuff that typically doesn't often go on sale. Like I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
really good sales from that. So Karma is fabulous for watching stuff. And then I also what you said, so I do the same thing about when I find something that I love and I will hunt it down. I will hunt
Mm-hmm.
it down. So if I wanted a blog post about this because
Okay.
I love this so much, there are some sites where you can find what a character or an actress or whoever has worn on TV. So
Oh,
you're watching
yeah.
TV, you're watching a show, and it's like you love this character style and you want to know what it was that she was wearing. So there are a few sites.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually in my last blog post. So anybody who wants to go to my website, it is prettythingstyling.com. And there's a blog that will be my last blog post, but I'll just share it with you right now. So there's wornontv.net and also shopyourtv.com. And then there's another one, just Spot ERN. And so you can find, you can find stuff and this will ease your hunt. This will make your hunt a little bit easier if this is something that you've seen on TV or you've seen it on YouTube or you've seen it on Kelly Clarkson or,
Mm-hmm.
your news anchor, because the people who are choosing clothes for, the costume designers, they know what they're doing. They're choosing the best of the best usually.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find it and you fall in love with it on TV, go to one of these sites and see if you can find it for yourself.
Nice. I've heard of the first site. I heard of that one maybe a couple months ago
Mhm.
from a news anchor because
Mhm,
everyone
really?
was so curious. It was like, where do you find your clothes? And so she stated, she was like, I'm not this big fashion person. So I see things I like on TV and I'm like, where did they get it from? So she learned about the site and she shared it. And I always forget to use that, but I will definitely do that. And I will
Yeah.
make sure that I also plug your blog post as well so that
Sure.
the listeners can go and read and also use those sites too, because I think that's amazing. Because I see things all the time and I'm like, what does Jennifer Lopez, where did she get that from? It's cute.
Exactly. Right?
And that's a good way to find, hey, this is what she
Yeah.
had on. I love that.
And I'll tell you something else. It was on some of these sites, if maybe the item is really expensive
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot afford it, but then they will offer you, or maybe it's already sold out. What these sites sometimes do is they will list an item that looks similar, or they will show you where you can buy it. Like it's completely sold out, but they'll show you where you can buy it on eBay from somebody.
Nice.
This is really incredible. It's incredible where we are now with technology and
Yeah, I love it. Listen, I'm gonna play around with that this weekend.
oh yeah.
I will definitely do it. Yeah, it's raining here, so I'm not going anywhere. I will definitely have some time to play around with that and go to some of those pages I saved on like Instagram and things like that and see if what I can pull. I
Yeah,
love that.
right there.
All right, so we know that we talked a lot about fashion and we went back a little bit to come to this point where we talked a lot about maybe the Golden Girls era
Mhm. Yeah.
compared to now and how fashion has changed. And we know that fashion is, of course, ever evolving. So, for women who struggle to navigate this time of like the ever evolving trends, what would your recommendation be for them? Would it be to keep up with the trends because we know that can be very costly? Or would it be to use what you have now and maybe pair it with a couple of newer pieces if you can afford to do so?
Some people enjoy being trendy. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are more classic and perhaps more conservative in their personality. I am more classic and I'm more conservative. I don't jump on trends unless it's something that
Yeah.
I've loved for a very long time. Like when corsets sort of became the thing, I have sort of bustiers that I've had that I wear
Mm-hmm.
on top of shirts, and I've had these for 20 years. And a few years ago,
Nice.
they came into style, and I don't think that I didn't buy any because I already had enough. But if a trend comes in and you love that trend, then absolutely buy something from it. You don't love a trend? Who's asking you to be trendy? We want you
Yeah.
to look like you. We want you
Yeah.
to find your own style, and we are all unique. We are all different. We are all going to love the things that we love. Trends, I'm so not about following the trends. I think I'm all
Yeah.
about, dressing beautifully for yourself. And how do you do that? You do that by finding your keywords and
Mhm.
defining how it is that you want to appear to people, and then by finding your inspiration. So when I
Yeah.
work with clients, I direct them in how to put together a Pinterest board. And I tell them to look for inspiration, like I told you. And so when you start to delve into this, you will find yourself. You will find your style. You'll find what resonates with you. And it's no longer, there isn't all this, concern or worry. I mean, I do think it is trial and error. It is.
Mhm.
You're going to try some things, and maybe you'll buy some things. And this happens to a lot of us when we're not fully focused on what our
Yeah.
style is. We buy things, and you know what? It doesn't work for us, but okay, it happens. But for the most part, when you're focused on the message that you want to convey through your look, when you know what your style is because you've put in the work and you've tried different things, um, in stores and you look through your closet and you see what you have, you will not be so, you will really just, you'll get such a better sense of your own style and how you want to appear and what you want to buy. It's really a matter of doing the work. It's a matter
Mm-hmm.
of doing the work. And I think that when you do the work, you're not going to fall for every trend. You're not,
Yeah.
unless, I want to say this, unless you're a very trendy person. If you're a person who loves to be on the cutting edge of trends, and I don't think that there are all that many people like this, but if
Yeah.
you're like that, it's going to bring you joy. Go do it. Go be
Yeah.
trendy.
Yeah.
Because again, we are all different. We're all different. I do when I've stopped people in the streets to photograph them. Some of the people have told me I love to be trendy. I love it.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I think that it's really not the most. I don't think it's most of. I think most of us really
Yeah.
like some trends. We don't like some other trends. And so for many years, women have been wearing skinny jeans, and
Mm-hmm.
now we're all being told that skinny jeans are out. I think if you really love your skinny jeans and you know how to style them so that you look kick-ass in them, then keep your skinny jeans, keep styling them. If you feel, you look around, you see that people are wearing the wider leg and you're sort of drawn to that, then maybe you no longer want to wear your skinny jeans. It's really about you. It's really about you. There are
Yeah.
certain things, I do want to be a little careful. There are certain things that look dated, and we don't want you to look too dated, but it's a matter of really knowing who you are, learning how to pull together an outfit so that it looks good. There is a little bit of a danger when you go on Pinterest, which is that they don't remove the old photos. So you might be pinning things. I've had clients do this, and I've had to explain to them what is not great about this. You might be pinning outfits that are 15 years old, and they no longer look current, and they no longer look great. And so that's not something that I would want for my clients. So there is there's a bit of a balance. There's a bit of a balance here. We don't want to look dated. We do want to find our style. And yeah. It's
It's
all
kind of
it's
like
it
marrying those two things together a little bit to see how it will work for someone, I would guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And we know that not only has fashion evolved and it continues to evolve. And I love when it comes back around because sometimes I see like 80s and 90s looks come back around. I'm like, I wore that
Yeah.
like in 1989. That's back. And that's just, and the other generations, they are like really excited about it. And it's like, we already wore that. But I do want to talk a little bit about busy women. We know that can be a challenge. How do how does this work for busy women? Busy women who are trying to juggle multiple responsibilities. They're trying to be a mom, trying to be a working woman, maybe, or they might just have, juggling a social life. So how can fashion be incorporated for busy women? What are some tips that you can share with them?
I don't have an easy answer for this because if you want to look good, you can do it yourself or you can go to an expert. Hire a stylist if you have no time and you want
Yeah.
to look good quickly. But if you want to go on the journey of discovering your own style, and it is so satisfying, then you're going to have to put in the time of looking at the influencers and looking at the Pinterest and trying on different things. And I don't have an easy solution for that. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. The easy way out is hiring a stylist, honestly. So
Yeah.
sorry.
That's okay. I can see that. I know for me, when I used to be really, really busy, I would have to, and I still do this from time to time. I would like organize my closet in a certain way. So that I would have like my tops and I would color code everything. And then like my bottoms would be, at the bottom. But I knew like, okay, these bottoms could go with these couple tops here. So it'll be easier for me to grab things that I already know in my head. And I'm also someone who can picture stuff in my head and put it
Oh,
together.
that is a
That's
gift. Usually my clients don't have that gift, but that is
Yeah.
really wonderful. So, okay, what you're saying is that is, it's still going to take an investment of time,
Mm-hmm.
but it will save you time in the morning. So, what I recommend to people is that every few weeks, let's say every month and a half, every month to every month and a half, go through your closet, rearrange it, make sure that you keep, like you said, keep your pants and your skirts in one area, your tops in another area, your dresses in another area, and go through, fold and create order in your closet and try things
Yeah.
on. Because
Yeah.
what's going to happen is things that have fallen behind, things that you haven't worn in the long time. We are such creatures of habit that we tend to just, that looked good the other day. I can't be bothered
Mm-hmm.
today. I have a million decisions to make. I'm just going to wear the same thing. And we end up wearing the same thing day after day. That can happen.
Yeah.
Or you've worn 5 days of outfits. They're all in the wash right now. You're going to wash them and you're going to rewear them because it's easy. It works. You don't have to think. So what I tell people is to go through your closet, play around with your clothes, try on different things and see what new discoveries you can make. Because when you try on different things, you try something, you pair something, a top, and you're always wearing this top with jeans, but suddenly you think I
Mm-hmm.
could do it with a skirt and then like a blazer on top. Or I could, when you start to do that, it broadens the scope of your wardrobe. You stop feeling like I have no clothes because you think, oh, but I've got this. I can wear it differently, and now I've got this new outfit that I never
Yeah.
realized I had. When you know what you have, also it just makes getting ready in the morning so much faster. One of the things too is so I for getting ready in the morning. Nobody, as far as I know, very few people wake up and has to get dressed and is out the door. We wake up. We maybe have coffee or tea. Maybe we meditate or pray. Maybe we shower, brush our teeth, make breakfast, make food for the day. We eat. You put on our makeup, and all this takes time. And all this time, you can be thinking to yourself, what do I feel like today? What do I have going
Mm.
on? What do I feel like wearing? Do I feel like wearing the color blue? Am I going to
Yeah.
need to go into a meeting and feel very powerful? If I need to feel very powerful, I'm going to want to wear black or red or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's different for all of us. And
Yeah.
so when we're getting ready in the morning, you're drinking your coffee, you're showering, you're doing your makeup. You've got plenty of time to check in with yourself and say to yourself, what do I feel like today? And then when you've got that sense of what you feel like on this day, you can go into your closet. You already know, you've done your homework. You've tried on stuff within the past few weeks or the past month and a half. You have an idea of what you have in your closet. You pull out that piece and then you put together an outfit with that piece that you feel like wearing, that color that you feel like wearing. So
Yeah.
it is all work. But if you put in that work and then you wake up in the morning and you start thinking before you get to your closet, you get to the closet and it's crunch time. It's like, no, I have a closet full of clothes. What do I wear? But if you've put in a little bit of that work beforehand in the morning and you're just thinking, what do I feel like? That makes everything faster. So that's
Yeah.
that's how I get dressed. And I'm fast when I get dressed. I didn't used to be, but I figured all this stuff as I've come along, as I've worked with people, as in the past few years, I've learned all these things, and really now it's clear.
Nice, nice. I love that. And I love the tips as well. It also took my mind back to when I was growing up, and it made me think about the first day of school. And my brothers and I'm sure a lot of kids were like this. It's like, oh my God, what am I gonna wear on the first day of school? How do I
Yeah,
want to show school? So you took the time to put that outfit together. So
right.
because this is my first day of school outfit. I want to walk in the hallways and I want to turn some heads. I want to be confident, whatever it may have been, but you took some time in high school to put that outfit together. It
Right.
made me think about that. I don't know why my mind went back to that, but it made me think about how exciting that time was, just to say, I'm going to wear this tomorrow. How do I, and then you ask your friends or your siblings, how do I look? Or you might ask yourself in the mirror, how do I look?
Mm.
Because you knew how you wanted to show up for
Yes.
that first day of school. And so putting that same energy into our everyday wardrobe
Mhm.
is, I think it's going to be essential for women, especially those who are trying to find their fashion style, those who are busy and they're like, I just don't have time. But you have to make some time, carve out a little bit of time, maybe on the weekends for a couple of hours and just go in your closet. Even if you plan for the next week, go in the closet
Yes. And
and
why I want to say that it is worth the investment of time. Not only that,
Mhm,
and
it is.
put on some music or put on a podcast or put on a show to have in the background that you've watched a million times
Yes.
with friends and you already know what they're going to say next and everything. You don't have to watch it. You just have it on in the background and go through your clothes. It's fun. Try on all your little treasures. And so it is fun, but it is also super empowering. When
Mhm.
you've put in the work, you will feel confident. You will look put together. There's no this is like a no fail plan. This will work. If you put in the work, you will succeed. You will succeed. It's worth it.
Yes, I
Your
love it.
confidence will be so much higher.
I agree. I agree. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love having this conversation with you today because I could talk to you about fashion all day and be like, listen, we have to link up and just go look at some of these, like you mentioned, like Vivian Westwood and Veronica Beard. I love Veronica Beard, by the way. I know that you have a membership program that's coming. Would love for you to talk a little bit more about that, and what can anyone who wants to join, what can they expect from the program?
Okay, so I am starting a style membership that I'm so excited about. The idea for this came about because I've had a lot of women say, I would love to hire you, but my budget's tight right now. Or I've had women from abroad say, I'd love to work with you. And I'm like, well, I'm
Yeah.
here and you're there. So what I will be doing is starting a membership
Hmm.
where women will get exclusive content from me. So once a month master classes where we'll do a deep dive on style. We'll do Q&As where women can say, listen, I can't, how do I wear this? Or I have this coming up. What would you suggest? And things like style challenges. So monthly style challenges. And something else that I think is very, very important, which is a community of other supportive, encouraging, positive women who want to up-level their style,
Yes.
who want to look good, who want to look put together, who want to learn how to do that. And that's one of the things also that I teach my clients, and I teach my clients basic style guidelines for looking put together. It's not that hard when you know what
Yeah.
you're doing. When you've got the guidelines, it's not that hard. And so that's something also that I really want to give to the group. All these tools and tips that I give to my clients, only it'll be in membership form, and it won't be so much one-on-one, but there will be a supportive group behind it and with my input. So if somebody's
Nice.
interested in that, they're more than welcome to email me and find out more. I'm going to start to advertise this soon. I'm just at the pre-launching stage, and if somebody joins me before I launch, then it will be a lower fee, and it will be a price that never goes up for them.
Nice. I love it. I love it. I know it's going to be so much fun and exciting because a lot of women, most women, we love fashion. And there are so many women now that I see on social media who are really like looking for fashion, like looking for ways to put their clothes together, their outfits together. They're looking for those tips and tricks that, we might hear about, but we may not know how to do it ourselves. And so I love that you're going to be offering this. And I will definitely, definitely share like just a link to your email so that they can reach out to you if they have any questions. Any
Terrific.
questions. So
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for talking to me today. It has been a pleasure. I'm talking about fashion and I'm thinking about my little mannequin over here in the corner that has this green plastic around it. I was supposed to dress it. I have a couple of them in my room. Supposed to dress it in. I didn't. And so if you guys are looking at this, please don't talk bad about me. I just need to put a little top on it or something. All
Well,
right.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I want to say that I've really enjoyed this, and I really appreciated your insights. I really did.
Uh,
Everything you had to say. So thank you.
yes, thank you. Thank you because you provided a lot of tips, a lot of even things that I was doing and I was like, am I just being obsessive just to hear someone who does this on for a day to day as their their business say, no, this is what I also encourage my clients to do.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate it because now I don't feel like I'm insane for doing the things that
No,
I do.
you're on the right path. You're on the right path.
Nice. Also, I will plug in Pretty Things Styling. Again, I will plug in the blog, I will plug in the website, and also how the listeners can follow you on Facebook and Instagram. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in today. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And also join us in the Facebook group, Navigating Life After 40, so we can continue this discussion. Have a great rest of the day. That's a wrap for this episode of Navigating Life After 40. I hope you enjoyed this conversation just as much as I did. If you love what you're hearing, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling generous, leave me a review on your favorite podcast platform. This helps me to reach more amazing women like yourself who are trying to navigate this amazing life. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep living your best life.